Oh my goodness. Today I have with me a property manager. As you know, times are tough and people are struggling. Most of us rent, and it's so confusing. There's so much information out there, and you don't know as a tenant what can you do, as a landlord what can you do. And at the end of the day, we all want to try to help people. Landlords don't want to lose their tenants, and tenants don't want to lose their homes. So who better than a property manager to kind of give us a little bit of a snapshot of what's actually happening out there, and explain to us a little bit of what are our rights and what is that we can do. So without further ado, I would love to introduce you to Anna Nguyen. She's a property manager from Iron Fish. And Anna, if you could just please introduce yourself very quickly and tell us a little bit about how long have you been working for Iron Fish, and a little bit of why did you become a property manager? Anna, to you.
Hello everyone, my name's Anna and I work at Iron Fish Build. I'm the property manager here. I've been at Iron Fish Build for about 3.5 years now. I've been in the real estate industry for about eight years. Why I started property management is I thought that I'd like to help people lease and find a home. That's my first initial thought, and I just thought property industry was quite intriguing. Therefore, I just started my journey from there after high school. Started as a receptionist, but worked my way up to property management, and here I am today.
That's very sweet, Anna. So I'll get straight into it. So let's say I'm on your rent roll and I'm a tenant and I just lost my job, and you know I don't know, maybe I'm not gonna get a job back within a month or two. So if I'm in that situation, what should I do? What is the first thing I should do?
Yep. So because of the coronavirus incident right now, we are taking every case. It is a sensitive subject. We have asked the tenants to provide the supporting documents in order for us to verify their claim to see if it's genuine. So we are asking for their number one, their employment termination letter from the employer. Number two, a bank statement which indicates how much savings they have or what income they have. And number three, if they've applied or eligible to apply for Centrelink government assistance, we'll ask them for that document as well, so that we can review and assess what's both fair for both parties. And then we'll come up with an agreement, and then we'll have that in place, and we'll monitor the rental reduction, temporary, of course, for every 4 weeks. That's what we do for the tenant, and we'll touch base with the tenant and and check up on how they are. Number one, that's the most important thing, how they are, and number two, whether they found any jobs, or whether if they have been stood down, when is the commencement date of, or when will they resume to back to work again? Yeah.
I see. That's very cool. And but I guess another thing that is important is, like, if you get a reduction of rent, do you pay that difference in the future to the landlord, or do you get that discount during a specific period of time, and then you go back to your normal rent once your job is back to normal and everything is normal?
Yes.
So how does it work?
Yes, so there's two ways we can approach it. Number one, if the tenant is asking for a rental reduction with an agreement of the payment of the rental deferral, then we'll enforce a payment plan in place. Number two, if there is a rental reduction accepted, then the owner would just take the loss, and they will, once everything goes back to normal, then they will resume the normal rent. Otherwise, the rental deferred, the tenant does have they can pay back if they agree. But there's nothing in the legislation which indicates that they must pay back. It's just an agreement that's agreed on both parties, and that's enforceable.
I see. Because I know that, for example, as a tenant, you may think that your landlord is really mean to you if they don't want to reduce your rent. But being a landlord, like people don't understand as well that as a landlord, we don't get any help. Yes, we can put our mortgages on hold, and but that doesn't mean that we're not going to pay the bank for that time that the mortgage is on hold. It's just now it's going to be added in the future, and there's nothing actually that we can do to help our end. So we are trying to help the tenant not to lose their home, and we want to keep our tenants, but from the other end it's very hard being a landlord as well.
Yeah.
uh, and
So,
so how do you communicate that to the tenant?
one other way that the government is offering incentive is that if the landlord is eligible for a land tax rebate, they can apply. So they will need to provide their documents or a letter from the property manager that states that the tenant is, um, seeking financial hardship, and then the owner will be rebated up to 25% for the land tax. That's number one thing that the government is assisting the landlord. Um, but number two, so if the tenant is behind in rent, what we can do for the landlord is, yes, we'll try our best to ask for a deferment. And if that cannot be accepted by the tenant, then we will just need to take the tenant to tribunal. If the owner cannot afford, they can take the tenant to tribunal for hardship. But yes, it is a grey area. We are all working together. Fair trading has been bombarded with many inquiries, but the solution to this really, if the agreement cannot be met between the landlord and the tenant, we will need to apply to the tribunal. That is the last option. So yes, as a property manager, our duty is to work on behalf of the landlord. At the same time, we have to mention to the landlord what's the tenant's financial situation, how much they can afford. If they cannot afford more than that, then and the owner cannot accept, then we just have to go to tribunal. And if a landlord insurance policy or claim must be submitted, then that's what we can do. Other than that, the only option is to go to tribunal.
But regarding the land tax, like that's another gray area, because a lot of people own apartments and sometimes they don't pay land tax. So because they haven't reached that threshold yet, or so again, then if you're not in that scenario, then you're just on your loss. But again,
Yeah.
like it as you said, it is a gray area, and it's a situation that we've never experienced before, and everybody is learning together, I guess.
Yes, yes. So that's this situation. I guess it represents unity, because with this situation, it just shows how everyone has to work together. And it's stated on the Fair Trading website. Fair Trading will tell you in person we all have to work together. The Prime Minister has also stated that the landlord will take a loss, the agent will take a loss, and the tenant. So the only way we can work around this is if we work together, and just work together through this pandemic, and then it will make us stronger, because you will develop a stronger relationship with the tenant and with the agent, because we're all suffering, to be honest. And frankly, it's just an experience. I mean, it is a downfall. At the same time, it is a learning experience, and it's a way that you can build a stronger bond, with your tenants and also your agent. So we just hope for the best, and
Yeah.
we'll just go from there.
Well, that was actually lovely, and I would like to. My next question would be, so Anna, out of the COVID situation, what would be the normal process to get first to engage with you as a landlord, engaging with you for your services, and then how do you help landlords finding tenants, and how are your services better than than other property management?
Yeah. So a lot of our landlords are from referrals, so from either existing or word by of mouth. So what would happen is that they will engage in our services if they need their property to be relet. So we'll go to the property, and we'll assess the property, and we'll offer a rental appraisal, and we'll start advertising and show the property. The kind of documents that we ask for our tenants are in order to review and find a suitable tenant is their bank statements or their pay slip. So they have to have a stable job or have income or savings. Number two, good references. So if they're currently renting, we'll ask for the rental reference from their current agent or private landlord, and they'll offer some tenancy ledger, so the payments statement, work referral, or they're sorry. Yeah, so there's bank statements, the photo ID, which confirms the identity, the letter of employment, pay slips, and any referral from a friend or a landlord or employer. Yes, that's how we review and assess, and we'll ask them questions like how they were as tenants, whether they've kept the property neat and tidy. Yeah, so then from that, we forward the details onto the owner. We obviously conduct the tenancy reference check on the database just to confirm that they are not blacklisted, and then we'll forward that on to the landlord, and then it'll be up to the landlord's discretion whether they can accept the tenant, and then from there we'll ask for a deposit. That's how we lease the property generally, but with referrals, if for an existing tenant, we will inspect the property with the tenant, the current tenant, once the file is collected from the current agent, and then we will review the file, and then we will review the file, and then we'll go through the file just to check if there's any discrepancies with the tenant's payments, and check when's the last time the routine inspection was conducted, and also go through the owner's outgoings. That is one of the main problems that we do notice, why the owners do change agents, because it's of the outgoing payments. Number two, it's communications from the tenant, so they're not aware of who's living in the property or what is the condition of the property. And also the third option why they do change agents is because lack of communication with the current agent. So I have many cases and many clients where they come to our office because there is no communication at all with their current agent, and there's repairs are being done without their knowledge, and they have no idea what's going on. And as an owner, you don't want an agent like that. You want someone that's up to date with the tenant's status, with the tenant's payment, and also someone that is vigilant with the payment and outgoings and such. And they want to know what's going on with the law as well. So for us as property managers, we offer the tenants the owners up-to-date information about any legislation changes. So that's one thing. And also for us, we take pride in our work. We are very active. We do build a relationship not only with the landlord but with the tenants as well. So yeah, I mean, we also conduct after-hours inspection. So that's one of our selling point. We do understand that the owner does have needs for the mortgage repayments and such. We understand that they are in some financial distress. The property is vacant. So yes, so we do offer that extra service of the after hours, daytime, weekends, and Sundays as well. So yeah, that's one thing that we do for our clients.
Wow, that's so cool. And how much do you charge? Like, does it depend where the property is in Sydney, or you have a flat fee? How does it work?
Yes, so we charge a flat fee of 5.5%. However, if it's in the closer region to Burwood, then we charge 4.4%. I can provide the list of the managing fees and charges upon a request, so we can go to further detail, and that will be mentioned all in the managing agency agreement.
Wow,
Yep.
that is very awesome. And especially now, I guess you're probably conducting many inspections at nighttime.
Mm-hmm.
And because there is a restriction of how many people, and you know, so it's like you have to spend a whole day to rent one apartment, because you can't just do group visits. Isn't that correct?
Yeah, so we will take group inspections, but it will be 2 by 2. And yeah, that's just the law at the moment. So once it change, hopefully, you know, things can start running more smoothly. But at the moment, it's a bit time it's a bit time consuming. But we still are trying our best. Yeah.
All right. And now, Anna, if I'm a landlord out there and I would like to contact you and see if you can help me managing my properties, what's the best way for them to contact you?
Yep. So I'm reachable on my mobile number, which Pina will be mentioned on the description box. Otherwise, I'm contactable by email. I have social media platforms, so WeChat, WhatsApp, and also Facebook. So yes, any interest or referrals can contact me via those resources.
All right, you give it to me and I'll put it down there. Anna, thank you so much for your time. And thank you so much. You're very knowledgeable. We can see you love what you do. And we can see, I think what I love the most is the fact that, yes, you are representing the landlord, but at the same time, you must care for your tenant. And by being that middle ground between the two, you don't want to be losing no landlord want to be losing tenants, so the better that relationship is, the longer it is and the less stressful it is. So thank you so much. I really appreciate, and I'll see you next time.
See ya.